Dock. Braille screen. Portrait. Book. Braille screen. B-A-T. One app. Battle fruit.
Hello everybody, this is Sasha, and today I'm going to show you a game, a really cool game. You know the game Battleships, where you have ships that you sink and try to sink all before the other one does. This is similar, but the cool thing is that it's fruit instead of ships, which is really, really much better. And also you have utilities. So there are several other ways to sink the fruit than just drop, a torpedo or a bomb or anything. And I think this is a really great game, and I've been playing it a lot. And the cool thing, you can play it with other people too. And it works for both sighted people and blind people, which I think is incredible. I'm going to open that.
Welcome to Portrait. Battle fruit. Play battle fruit.
And now
Button.
we are in the main menu.
Settings. Button.
And there are water sounds. Okay, so in swiping order.
Settings. Button.
The settings will go through that.
Help. Button.
This gives information of the game and the different utensils.
Multiplayer. Button.
And that's where you go if you want to play with somebody else.
Play battle fruit. Button.
Which
An
opens
illustration
the
of a
menu
black and
of the game. Or yeah, the recipes. There are like 1,500 recipes at the moment. So let's go to settings. I do a 2-finger flick up.
Settings. Window.
Double tap.
Close. Button.
And there, of course, that's the close button.
Settings.
That's a kind of title.
Music volume. Off. But low. Med. Selected. High. Button.
For some reason, I do
404.
not hear the music. I've never heard it, so I'm not quite sure why I can't hear it. But that's no big deal, really.
Sound effects volume. Off. Low. Med. Selected. High. Color scheme.
This is for people that are sighted or have a little bit of vision. So I haven't played around with this because I'm completely blind.
Navy. Selected. Pastel. Contrast. Dark. Vibration. Selected. On.
That's
Button.
when it
1 of 2.
vibrates and you hit a fruit and stuff, I think.
Off. Button. 2 bigger buttons. On. Button. Selected. Off. Your avatar name. Super pair.
In this game, you can have avatar names instead of just Chef 1, Chef 2, which is really fun. And I used to be Intelligent Lasagna, but I kind of changed because you press the avatar name and it chooses an avatar for you, like this.
Your avatar name. Super pair. Change your avatar. Champion orange. Yellow shadow. iCloud saved game. 42 recipes.
Yeah, so I have...
Restore better game. Button.
And this is in case you have a better game on iCloud, which is really great because I accidentally deleted the app. Actually, I got a new phone. So I'm going to double tap that.
iCloud saved game.
There we go.
Restore better game. Button.
And that was the settings. So let's do a 2-finger flick up.
Close. Window. Settings. Setting. Close.
Oops.
Settings. Help.
And this is the help.
Window. Help. Tutorial. Button.
There is a tutorial of this game. To be honest, I've never tried it.
You are Chef 1 and your mission is to catch all the fruits to make a delicious smoothie before Chef 2 does. The fruits are on a gridded board divided into cells and you are blindfolded so you can't see Chef 2 fruits. Players take turns firing kitchen utensils by selecting a grid coordinate to attempt to hit the opponent's fruits. Fruits have different shapes and sizes and cover different amounts of cells. When you hit all the cells of the fruit, you sink the fruit. Each utensil works slightly different. Star the fork reaches one cell and tells you if you hit a fruit or miss. Star the knife cuts 3 cells in a line, in the best direction the Iowa finds. Star the spoon aims at one cell but, by stirring, tells you how many hits are around it. Star the blender scans 3 by 3 cells around the selected cell.
I love the blender. It's so cool, and it always sounds so cool too.
Star the tongue catches the whole fruit, no matter how big, only if you don't miss.
Yeah, the tongs are great, but it's kind of guesswork sometimes, because you need to know kind of where the fruit is. You could do it at random, which I sometimes do, and sometimes I get the fruit, sometimes I don't.
The game board is not always squared. It might have different shapes. Besides the fruits, on some levels, you will find ice cubes. When a chef hits an ice cube, he will be frozen on the next turn and won't be able to fire. Before the first turn, the fruits are sorted randomly on the board. You can select shape to shuffle the fruits' positions. The chef who catches all the fruits first wins the game. The more kitchen utensils you have left at the end and the more fruits has your opponent yet to catch, the more stars you will get. The kitchen drawer is the place where you will find the utensils gifted or purchased. You will find it in the upper right corner when you play against the machine in recipe 10 and above. You can add the utensils during the game and thus improve your scores. Every 12 hours, by opening the game you will receive new utensils. You can also add more by buying them in the store, accessed from the drawer.
I think that the price of the utensils is very, very good. It's not very expensive. I think you get 55 for 5 or whatever, something like that. I think that's really reasonable.
You will find the 2 game boards. Your fruits are on the lower board. Chef's 2 fruits are hidden on the upper one. You have to find them aiming your arsenal to the upper board. Board cells are labeled with a letter indicating the row, and a number indicating the column. You can hover over the cells of the boards and locate the hits, the misses, and the fruits or the utensils that you can fire on this cell. There's a back button on the top left and a label on the right of the boards with a list of the caught or still hidden fruits. Between the boards you will find an informative label. There's a back button on the
So that was the help file or manual or whatever.
Close.
Here
Settings.
comes the fun part. The game.
Help. Multiplay battle fruit. Button. 43. New recipe.
So now we are at the list of recipes and I have 43 of them. And there are very, very many. I think it's like 1,500 recipes. And to be honest, I had to try one of them and it tasted really great. I don't remember which one it was, but it was really tasty. And we're not going to start on over 40 level. So we're going to start on the first recipe. So I do a 3-finger single tap on the lower part of the screen. Oh, maybe I should show you.
Close. 43. New recipe. Previous level. Verdict previous 1. Excellent pineapple sweetness.
Oh, the drawer wasn't there. I forgot. Okay.
1. Excellent pineapple sweetness. 2 stars.
Oh, I only got 2 stars there. And I'm going to open.
Recipe 1. Yellow Shadow vs. Scout Grapefruit. Excellent pineapple sweetness. Pineapple with banana, orange and lime. Tong 3. Blender 2. Spoon 3. Knife 2. Fork 64. Push shake to shuffle your fruits. And start when ready.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the screen. And I'm going to tell you what things are. So, at the top of the screen,
Recipe 1. Yellow shadow.
there's the recipe.
Shake your board. Button.
And in the a little over the middle of the board, there's the shake to shuffle.
Shake your board. Shake your board.
And then I go down.
Water A5. Water
And that is
A6.
my board.
Pineapple slice D6. Pineapple slice D4. Water E4. Start.
And to the right of the screen, almost in the middle of the phone, or whatever device you're using, is the start button. So I'm going to press that.
Start. Scout starts the game. Good luck. Scout's turn. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at D6. Your turn. Arsenal. Tong 3. Blender 2. Spoon 3. Knife 2. Fork 64.
Okay, so now we are in the game. And on the top half of the screen is the opponent's board.
F4. Button.
And I haven't done a move yet, so
Actions
everything's going
available.
to just say
G4. But G3. Button. G2. Button.
I gotta tell you that
Action.
vertical navigation does not work in this game. And the reason why is because it's got the voiceover rotor actions. So when I try to use vertical navigation,
Headings. Contain screen.
it doesn't work.
Active speaking. Words. Character. Actions. Headings. Containers.
Oh, I don't even have that on my rotor. But I've tried that and it doesn't work, which isn't a big deal because the buttons are big enough and the grid is kind of easy to understand. At the top of my board,
F6. C7. B8. A8. A2. Give up. Give up.
there's a give up button
Tutorial. Button.
and a tutorial button,
A1.
and there comes my board. And further down on the screen,
G6. Your turn. Arsenal. Tong 3. Blender 2. Spoon 3. Knife 2. Fork 64.
not quite in the middle of the phone, but it is on the right.
Water A7.
And there is my opponent's board. No, actually, that's my board, but that's the board where the opponent tries to sing fruit.
Pineapple slice B5. Water C5.
And a little about that,
Your turn. Water. Your turn. H8. Your turn. Before. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at D6. Scout starts the game. Good luck.
yes, and that's kind of a log of the actual game.
Banana. Water. Your turn. Arsenal.
It says it's
H2.
my turn,
Orange.
and I'm soon going to make a move.
Orange A1. Your game board summary. Yellow shadow. Pineapple slice. Hidden. 8 cells. Around B4. Banana. Hidden. 4 cells. Around D7. Orange. Hidden. 4 cells. Around A1. Lime wet. Hidden. 2 cells. Around D3. Fruit hid at D6.
Okay, that was my board. It's right to the left, a little over the board.
D7. E8. Your turn. Orange. Drawer.
And that's the drawer. It's on the very left of the screen, close to the center. And I'm going to double tap that.
Drawer. Take utensils from the drawer.
And this is where you can take utensils that you can use.
COM 105 in the drawer. 3 ready. Button. Blender 45 in the drawer. 2 ready. Button.
Yeah, I used the blender a lot.
Spoon 105 in the drawer. 3 ready. Knife 56 in the drawer. 2 ready. Orange A1.
So that's the drawer.
Knife top table by drawer. Buy utensils. Button.
And there's where you can buy the actual utensils for money if you want.
Drawer. Button.
And I'm going to tap that to close the drawer.
Drawer. Your turn. Water ceased. Water D1. Your game board sum E8.
So
Your
okay,
turn.
let's start.
G5.
I'm going to take G5
Button. Knife. Top blender.
and use the blender.
Yellow uses blender and hits fruit at F4. F5. Scout's turn. Scout uses tong and misses.
Okay, I'm going to tell
Your
you exactly
turn.
what happened.
Arsenal. Tong 3.
I used the blender and hit tons of fruit, or not tons of, but I hit on several places. And then my opponent used the tong and missed. Once again, the tongs are great when you strike it right, but it's a lot of guesswork when it comes to that. There's a lot of guesswork.
Opponent's game board summary. Scout grapefruit. Pineapple slice. Hidden. 8 cells. Banana. Hidden. 4 cells. Orange. Hidden. 4 cells. Lime wedge. Hidden. 2 cells. Fruits hit at F4, F5, F6, G5, G6.
Also that, I didn't tell you, that's on the top right of the phone. And now I have hit fruits.
G6 fruit hit. Button. H6 miss. G H7.
And I'm going to do a tong.
Knife. Spoon. Tong. Yellow uses tong and misses. Scout uses blender and misses. Your turn. Arsenal. Tong 2. Blender 1. Spoon 3. Knife 2. Fork 64.
That didn't go well. He didn't hit any fruit at all. Okay, so I'm going to make my turn here.
E3. Button. Your H2. H1. F1. G2. G4 miss. F4 fruit hit. F3. F4. F3. Knife. Yellow uses knife and hits fruit at E4. D5. Scout uses knife and misses. Your turn.
I think
Arsenal.
I'm doing better than
Tom
my
2,
opinion or
blender 1,
my opponent.
Spoon 3, knife 1, fork 64. Your turn. F5 fruit hit, F6 fruit hit, F8, F7, knife, spoon, tong. Tong and hits fruit at F7, G7, catches but Scout uses blender and hits fruit at A2, B2. Your turn.
Okay,
Arsenal.
it's a bit frustrating because sometimes you can't hear exactly what fruits he hit. But that's not a big deal because you can actually see that place where it said what happened before and stuff.
C5. A4. Nut. Spoon. A3. Nuts. Top blender. Yellow uses blender and hits fruit at B2. Scout's turn. Scout uses spoon and misses. Locates 2 parts of fruits around. Your turn. Arsenal.
And I don't use the spoon very much.
E3. E4 knife. F3 miss. Your turn. D3 knife. Knife. Yellow uses knife and hits through the C2. B1 scout. Scout uses knife and misses. Your turn. Arsenal. C8.
Also, the
But
boards are
Tom.
not
Activate. Top spoon. Activate. Spoon.
the.
Act spoon. East.
Okay, the boards aren't always, square or rectangular, and when they're not, it's going to say like the location that, for example, E4 out. That means that the E4 section is not part of the board. And also the fruits can have lots of different shapes, as it said in the help file.
H4 miss. A5. Give up. A1. A2 miss. A3 miss. B3 miss. B2 fruit hit. B1 fruit hit. B1 C1. C1. Fork and hits fruit at C1.
What a nice sound.
Uses tongue and hits fruit at B5. B6. D4. D5. Your orange hit.
That wasn't good.
G4 miss. D C5. Spoon activate.
I'm going to take some things from the drawer.
Miss your turn. H your turn. Before your drawer. Drawer. Water A8. H4 H5 miss. F miss A4. H1 top. Drawer. Blender spoon. H8 drawer. Blender heading not found.
I'm going to take a blender out.
Your turn. Before Tom. Your turn. Your drawer. H8 blender.
Oops.
Yellow uses blender. Take you. Scout uses Tom.
That was stupid.
Your turn. Heading drawer. But
I thought
drawer.
it was in the drawer. I didn't think properly.
Your turn. Before orange. Your turn. Drawer. H8 drawer.
Sometimes a bit hard to.
Buy you 10. Take you 10. Tom 1. Blender 44. Blender taken out. Blender 44. Take utensils. Blender 43. Your turn. Take you.
Okay.
G6. G. Take you. Your turn. Take you. Buy you. Your turn. Drawer.
I'm going out of the drawer.
H5 miss. G. H3. H. Knife. Spoon. Blender.
Oh, that was already
F3
stricken.
miss. Your turn.
I've hit many places.
E5. Spoon. Top blender. Blender and hits.
That's great.
Water. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at G7. Your G5 banana. E6 pineapple. F8. G8 miss. H7 miss. H G C6 D8 E8 E7 E6 pineapple. E5 miss. D3 miss. F2 G4 miss. H5 miss. Your turn. G8 miss. Opponent's C6 B7 B6 blender. Yellow uses blender and hits
That was an
through
ice
C5. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at F7. Your turn. Arson F3 miss. G5 banana cod. E6 pineapple. C2 orange cod. D1.
I only have
Spoon.
one fruit.
Tom. Activate. Spoon. Tom.
I only have one fruit
misses.
left.
And
I think my opponent also has
fork and misses.
only one left.
Your turn. Arson F5 pineapple. H2 spoon. Activate. H2. Yellow uses fork and misses. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at A1. Your turn. Arsenal. H6 miss. E6 pineapple. E1. Spoon. Activate. E1. Yellow uses fork and misses. Scout uses fork and hits fruit at E7. Your turn. F8. E8. E8. Yellow uses fork and misses. Scout's turn. E8 miss. Scout uses fork and misses. Your turn.
Okay, so I got one fruit left, and he's got one fruit left.
E5 miss. D3 miss. A4 miss. B6 miss. A6 miss. A3 miss. A1. B1 orange cop. C1 orange. D1 miss. E2. F2. F1. G4 miss. H5 miss. H7 miss. E6 pineapple. D6 pineapple. C6 miss. D5 miss. A5 miss. Opponent's game board sum. F8. F8. Spoon. Activate. F8. Yellow uses fork and misses.
This is not
Scout
good.
uses fork and misses.
Right
Your
now I'm
turn.
going on trial and
Arsenal.
error.
E5 miss. C5 fruit hit. B5 miss. C5 C6 C5 fruit hit. B4 C5 fruit C4 B4 miss. You win. You got 3 stars. Next.
So that's battle
Four.
fruit. Thanks for everything. That's all from me. And stay cheerful.
Bookmarks folder. Screen recording and